It would seem she still has some pride after all. Let's see if she's as good as her word. I confess my heart was in my throat when Estinian thought to betray her. It appears to have had the desired effect. It won't make up for what she's suffered at the hands of men. If there's a chance we can free her, truly free her, we owe it to her to try. While Porxies have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraint only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. You suppose we can find that information here? I guess we can. We can indeed. The Allagans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphino and Ethys here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we can trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. He's so scared of Tataru. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. Ah, yes, we're familiar with it. The Etherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you? Yeah, right? I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros Urianger and I are researching the use of spirit vessels and transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. Oh, okay. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try at least. Agreed. I would take good care of it. Geez, you don't want to let that fall in the wrong hands, do you? To the flagship, then. You want to be very, very careful with that. Amalj'aa and I shall remain here and attend to necessary preparations. In the event that the spirit vessel fails to work as expected, you know where to find me. Good luck. It's possible the restraints may have mitigated the effects of her tempering, but Tiamat has been enthralled to Bahamut for thousands of years. To have clung onto her reason through it all says a lot for her strength of will. More than a lot. That is very interesting. Alright, it was their flagship. Hmm. I've just got this problem with the Mercidian dragons kind of turning in my head at the moment. I'm wondering how on earth they're going to resolve that. I would rather leave these elegant contraptions to you and Alphino. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Okay. Oh, what do you got, Estinian? These nodes, whatever it is you call them, why do they quiver so? Okay. Ah, here we are. Here's something. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause intruder interference. Advised deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Here we go. Bloop, bloop. Warning, scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in negative 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. I'm afraid Estini and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? A node which smelled like burnt hair. A chirping node spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. Oh. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node of which Graha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Very well. Let's take a closer look. Very well. How did the elegants tell these godforsaken things apart? That's a good question, actually. As I suspected, the node will not acknowledge my authority to issue it instructions. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Bloop, bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps? New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. I mean, I don't think any of them would really... Let's give him my name. Bloop. Welcome, Ethys Asher. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Blip, bloop. Error. Unable to disengage restraint of the specimen, Tiamat. A system update is required. Come on. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? I couldn't hazard a guess. Well, that's more than I could say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. So, can this thing release the restraints or not? Can, but only once it has received the requisite system updates, as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we'll fare better with guidance than without it. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I don't know what possessed the elegance to surround themselves with these chattering orbs. The fact that they remain while their creators do not speak volumes. Alright. Loop. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Okay. The other side? Since when was there water here? I remember that. Where are we? Down here? Here we go. Don't look at me. This is a task for you and Alphado. This terminal appears to be similar to the one we encountered when we first set foot here. Let us hope it will be equally helpful. Bloop. Access granted to user Ethys Asher and his adolescent Ellison companion. Master Asher's other companion is deemed a potential risk to safe operation and has been denied access privileges until further notice. Oh, come on. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 42.002, of course. Bloop, bloop. Warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years, 1 day. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead. Loop. The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we paid you attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we should be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain. Just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to G'raha once this is over. It's a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. And there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead to find common ground. So I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try to reach out to him too? Yeah, I mean, enemy or no, I want to understand him. Yeah, I think that's fair. But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? If he wishes to die, I say we oblige him. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. I cannot deny the logic in Estinian's argument. Given all that is at stake, even the slightest lapse in judgment could be the undoing of us all. Yeah, I like the idea that we're seeding here that Fandaniel, unlike the other Ascians, may just be a complete psychopath, you know? May just be a monster. And at the end of the day, us trying to find some common ground with him may be completely in vain. Oh, I'm doing alright, thanks, Sickle. I'm doing okay. Just very, very absorbed. Very, very absorbed. Kefka vibes? Yeah, I get mad Kefka vibes from Fandaniel. If this Fandaniel truly is without reason or creed, he is no better than a rabid dog. Treat with him if you must, but be ready to do what is necessary. So the spirit vessel proved useful after all. Excellent. Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating. But you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, G'raha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. Now, this is interesting as well, because the primal Bahamut, as far as we understand, was an astral entity, right? There's very much of that polarity. So the same kind of aspect as a Zodiac, right? And we've been wondering, right, well, how could an astral entity sort of turn people's ether towards umbral? Is it perhaps different for, you know, more kind of complicated icons? But it is interesting that Tiamat's condition is pretty much the same. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Interesting idea. Now that you mention it, it very well might. Would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints of ethereal dampers. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. What are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the men of Amalj'aa? Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Ethys, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Yes, tell us. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Oh, I want to hear both, though. Come on. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Amalj'aa first came unto Mericidia, unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search for a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Okay, this is Sephiroth's worshippers. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Sharlayan scholar Rurusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the second astral era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. Oh, I was really not expecting this. This is awesome. You know, between this and going to Paglth'an, we are seriously seeding a Mericidia expansion. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion, such was their fear of dragonkind. And as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, divided the land amongst themselves. For a time, they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife. Until one day, they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. The Dawnfather and the Duskmother is how they were known in Mericidia, which sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end, for the men of Amalj'aa slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear when this is over. Keep going, Amalj'aa. The magic is working. Slowly but surely, the magic is working, aided no doubt by the memories you bade her share. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. And I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go.
No! I'm almost there! This is it, Angelo!
Porksy LB3. Oh my god, it is. This is a Porksy LB3. Oh, these things are so ridiculous. I wish I was in another way.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Task in Santa and
Oh, this is absolutely flagging Mercidia expansion, isn't
Many
it?
have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Ungin. Slosk an ol fol kail an. Slosk seth som in an. Afaten. Mon ud. Wan an. Lis an. Do ud an.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
She's in an hemig.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Oh, jeez. I didn't realize she had them piercing her tail there. I hadn't noticed that before. Oh. She looks a lot more like Midgard Zorma than the others as well.
By the gods!
Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, this makes me so happy.
Urianger, your timing could not be better.
I wish Mini wasn't
Understood, we're
still
on our way.
sleeping from his interference with Omega.
It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Paglth'an. He flies to
good
the
timing.
largest Amalj'aa settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Oh my.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Oh man, why does Estinian get all the cool mounts? Jeez. It's like, got what I come from, bye! I'll be fine. Plenty of time to recover on the airship. Well, I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle. It would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first, before we face demands no less. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Uldar at the Hall of Flames. Let's collect Alphinaud and be on our way. So, oh, that's nice, isn't it? So the other two Brood of Midgardsormr we haven't met yet are Vertra and Azdaja. Yeah. And, I mean, who knows? They may show up at some point. I hope so. If you're worried about me, don't be. I got some rest during the flight, and now I feel ready for anything. First, the spate of abductions, and now an attack on the Amalj'aa homeland. What did the Telophoroi aim to achieve with all of this? As I'm sure you recall, Arenvold and Fordola were bound for Paglth'an. I pray they have not come to any harm. By happy coincidence, Crow and I were in the process of concluding our inquiries when news reached us of Luna Bahamut's return. There's much to discuss, but it will have to wait. Of the foe we face, we know but little. Though time be of the essence, we must not stint in our preparations, lest our haste to fly to the aid of the Amalj'aa cost us our best chance of victory. Alright, let's do it. Oh, I'm so excited. Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say that Telophoroi have other plans. Paglth'an is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarupin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It is good to hear that Uldar has not abandoned the Amalj'aa. Abandoned them? We not profess to be their friends. Is Paglth'an ever going to commit to his retirement? Your Grace. Marshal Tarupin had made provisions for such an exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the Syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Really now? Nor is Uldar alone in its resolve. The other Alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Paglth'an. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested. We face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Luna Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured. Not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Luna Bahamut, none of the Amalj'aa show any signs of tempering. Strange. Primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls. Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primal does not want to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Luna Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Ethys and others like him wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Luna Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming that is you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. The next we meet, may the 12th bless and keep you. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I for one am inclined to do as her Grace requests. Lest we forget, Arenvold and Fordol are in Paglth'an on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship, then. It's really nice to see Nanamo's growth continuing, isn't it? That she's really stepping out of Ralbon's shadow. Okay, to the airship landing. Oh man. This is so exciting. I am absolutely going to use trusts. I always use trusts for my first run. Okay, airship landing. Drive-by papaya. Lest thou wonder, I have attended to Thancred's ammunition and completed mine own preparations. I trust thou canst say the same of thine. Try as I might, I cannot fathom why the Telophoroi would move to attack the Amalj'aa. If Andaniel's objective is death and destruction, one of the city-states would surely have been a better target. No, they have some other agenda. One encompassing the recent abductions, perhaps. Do you think Estinian and Tiamat have already reached Paglth'an? But I should know better than to speculate on the whereabouts of the Azure Dragoon. Forgive me. It is not impossible that the Telophoroi redirected some of the troops stationed at the tower to the front line. If so, this may all turn out to have been to Arenvold and Fordola's benefit. Given what we know, some, or perhaps even all, of the Imperial soldiers may have been tempered. If we can subdue them, we should be able to do something about that. But they would see us as enemies even then. That said, wouldn't be deaf to reason, which is better than nothing. So, the Telophoroi have constructed buildings capable of tempering and primals which are not? What secrets are they hiding? Greetings. Been expecting you. Say the word, and we shall depart for Paglth'an at once. Alright, let's do it. Oh man, I'm so excited for this. Alright, let's go. Who do I want to take? I want to take Orianger, Thancred, and Alize. Man, I want to take everyone, you know? I really want to take everyone. But no, this will do. Ah, crap. It'll be fine. It'll be alright. Oh, they have other dialogue? Oh, okay. Yes, here we go. At the cost of his own life did Master Louisoix strike down the primal Bahamut. Whatever the true nature of this new incarnation, cannot be suffered to threaten this star. Like most who have spent time in Ul'dah, I haven't always seen eye to eye with the Amalj'aa, but today I will fight side by side with them in common cause, and hope that none of them remember me. Right? Right, Thancred. The grasslands of Paglth'an will make for an open battlefield. Many though our enemy are, we will not have to fight against the terrain at least. I don't know, some cover might be nice if we're fighting Bahamut. By dealing with Luna Bahamut and his hordes, so too will we render aid to Arenvold and Fordola. Come, let us go. Whether he's here or not, we can be sure Fandaniel is behind this attack, and that makes me doubly determined to see that it fails. I know not what designs the Telotheroi have on Paglth'an, but I do know they must be stopped. Excuse me, for the good of the Amalj'aa and us all. Now, yeah, we want...
Our fates are not yet sealed.
We definitely want Urianger. So Urianger and Y'shtola usually have like really interesting little lore tidbits to give you. But I just love Amalj'aa too much to not take her with me. So, Urianger, you're doing the heavy lifting. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's the trailer music. This is awesome. Oh! Get him! Get him, T! Alright, let's do it. Let's do it, fam. Oh, this is so cool that we're fighting with the Amalj'aa as well. I love this. I absolutely love this. It does feel surreal, doesn't it? I know I can pull more, but I don't really trust Thakun and Urianger to do big pulls. Alright. Ooh. Now this is so interesting to see dragons here, because the implication is obviously that these are Mericidians, that they've come from the coils, but I was under the impression it was made like pretty explicit that once we shut down the coils, the Mericidians that were trapped inside would die, right? That the coils were basically acting as life support for them. So I'm very curious to learn. Yeah, I mean these definitely look like Mericidians, don't they? They're using the kind of typical Mericidian models. Yeah, and as far as we understand, they kind of come from Mericidia, because the Mericidian brood in Mericidia are, at least as far as we know, extinct. I don't think we've been explicitly told that they are, but that's certainly been the implication. So it's very unlikely that these have come from Mericidia directly. So this is very interesting. Oh, the kobolds are here. The kobolds are here? The heck? I love this. I love this. We've actually, like, united Eorzea. This is so wild. Yes, the alternative is they could have taken them from Azaz'laa. There were a bunch of them in Azaz'laa. But Alisaie seemed to believe that they came from the coils. Holy crap. Nice. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this is definitely a Mericidian dragon here. It's the same type as Imdagud. These Quell dragons. So, they, as we know, dragons will basically evolve, depending on the ambient ether of, like, where they live. They'll evolve into kind of different forms over their lifetime. And we know that these... I know this one is, like, lightning aspect of it. Yeah, it is, okay. Yeah, so this one, same as Imdagud, evolve in the... Oh, hold on. Evolve in the, jungles of Mericidia. These are definitely Mericidian dragons. Ooh. I'm making this so much more difficult than it needs to be. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. Yes, Paglth'an is a huge region like Xelphatol. Yeah, it is. Well, first, Zolmak Citadel. Oh, there she is!
What took you so long?
Oh man, this is like a dream.
You're in trouble. Let's split up.
The soldiers are just like, holy shit. Oh my goodness. Look at this! Look at like a siege tower, holy crap! Oh, this is so cool! Oh my goodness, this is seriously like such a dream, you know. Back in Heavensward, kind of just imagining what this sort of scenario would be like. Watching the dragons fight the Imperials is just Also watching the Imperials like enthrall and Neuralink dragons, you know? It's something that I was talking about like way back in Heavensward as well, wasn't it? So that was the purpose that the Empire originally got into Amalj'aa, right? Is because they were planning on reverse engineering the Neuralinks with the intention of using them on primals and presumably also on dragons. And the only reason they didn't was because Regular discovered that the Neuralinks had been sabotaged by Sophia's thralls and were therefore useless. Oh, this is so wild. Oh, Emmerich, what's up, baby? The heck? What you doing here? I hope I get a chess piece in here somewhere. Yeah, buddy. Okay, bye. Oh, holy crap. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Wow, those are two very brave well, never mind. Oh man, look how green she is now, like in this light. And she's basically confirming here that they are Mericidian. Oh, this is like the giant like Death Star ram thing from episode 8, right? From The Last Jedi. No, just me? Interesting. Oh, look at this! Oh, this is wild. Holy crap, look at this! We're getting some mad, like, ADS vibes here. They've definitely been getting into Coil. I knew this was gonna bite us on the arse. I knew that just, like, opening the way for them there was gonna end up coming back to bite us. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. This is stunning. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh, I'm so happy that she's been able to save some of them. It's so good. I'm so jealous of Estinian though. Alright, come on, let's get him. Let's get him, T! Yeah, you take those ones, I'll get the next group. Oh, there he is! There he is, I found him! Telotherium. I also hope we get an explanation for why he looks like that. Oh. Oh no, Tiamat, no! Alright. You sumbitch. Hurting my queen like that. Alright, hold on, I just need to plug in my headset here. I'm getting it beeping at me. Alright. Let's do it. Oh my goodness, look at this. Jeez, how many times is this that we've fought Bahamut now? This is getting out of hand, honestly. Alright, let's do it. Let's go. Twisted Scream. Oh man, look at that. The malevolent ether coalesces into lunar nails. So non-primal Bahamut we've seen artwork of, and he looked a lot more like the rest of his brood. Crap, where are we? Oh, we are in the middle, okay, good. So he wasn't a stubby little bipedal T-Rex like this. But he had the same kind of key features and color scheme, I guess, as the primal Bahamut. So Lunar Bahamut looks even less like OG Bahamut. I'll be very interested to see how he explained the extra, you know, protrusions and such from Lunar Bahamut. Although I suspect it's just like the influence of a shitload of astral ether. I better use my LB before Amalj'aa steals it.
On guard. There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
Now I just have to deal with all the other lunar primals.